AFLC schools, the Board of Trustees, and this board also meets once a month. There are both board members and faculty members in this picture. The one closest to me right here is the Dr. Francis Munseth. He's dean of our seminary, and the second man on the left there is Reverend Joel Rolfe, and he's the dean of our Bible school. The others are board members and other faculty members that are on that picture. We have a 2-year Bible school for high school graduates and older, open to anyone who would want to come and attend post-high school. And then we have also a full seminary program with 3 years of classroom academics and 1 full year of internship in a congregation under a supervising pastor. Publication and Parish Education Department is the most ambitious and active board of the AFLC. They meet once a month, and they meet 2 full days every month because they do a lot of work in editing and working on materials and so forth. Most of the materials that we have been written or produced by people as volunteers from our churches. A lot of it by pastors and others, lay people as well. And then this board works to refine that and get it ready for printing and publication and make available to our congregations or anyone that would want to purchase them from us. The youth board, as I've already mentioned, Pastor Jason Holt, the one on your right there with the red shirt, Pastor Jason Holt is the director. And as mentioned, the Fly Convention now going to take place again this year. And the Fly Convention, of course, with a gathering that large and that many young people participating in it, becomes really a feeder then for our 2-year Bible school. And every 2 years when the Fly Convention takes place, then there is always that fall a new influx of students to our Bible school, and becomes really a feeder then for our Bible school in a real sense of the word. We have it's not called pension board, I should have gotten this one changed, we call it a benefits board now. There really isn't such thing for most companies or churches anymore as far as a pension board. We call it retirement accounts, and they manage the retirement accounts of our pastors, and we do have that available for pastors. If a pastor and congregation want to participate in that, the pastor contributes 3% and the congregation contributes 5%, for a total of 8% to a retirement account for their pastor. We do not have a health plan any longer. We are like a lot of other church bodies in recent years have discontinued that because pastors and congregations are able to go out and shop for that which fits their need best, with lower premiums, higher deductibles, or whatever it might be, benefits that are provided so that they have more of a choice in that matter. So we do not have a health plan at this time. Nominating committee is one of the committees of the annual conference, and a very important committee because that committee it represents all of the districts of the Association of Free Lutheran Congregations. We have 16 geographical districts spread out across our United States, and each one of those districts then there will be one individual from each of those districts elected to serve on the nominating committee. Then that individual within that district will contact all of the churches within the district and ask them for names of people that might be willing and able to serve on committees and boards to serve our AFLC at large. Our annual conference is coming up now on June 14th through the 17th. We'll be meeting this year in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Our conference moves around. We've had conferences on the West Coast. We've had conferences down into Texas and north toward Canada. Next year will be the 50th anniversary of the AFLC, and our conference then will go back to Thief River Falls, where the first annual conference of the AFLC was held. And The annual conference is a time of refreshing for our people to come together. Anyone who is a member in good standing of an AFLC congregation is welcome to attend the conference with full speaking and voting privileges. All you need to do is register and attend and participate in the annual conference of the AFLC, because we believe that the work needs to be directed by the body of the AFLC, not simply by the leadership of the AFLC. So this committee of 16 men or more, men and women, is a very vital part of the AFLC. We have a National Women's Missionary Federation, and this board is responsible for that work. They work with the ladies of our congregation. They provide Bible studies for the women of our church, and also contribute generously to the work of missions and women's ministries throughout the AFLC. We have an expanding campus. As I showed you an aerial view a little bit ago of our campus, is about 23 acres. The newest addition to our campus was Heritage Hall, which was finished about 4 or 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years ago now. And that is the student center for the Bible school. It houses office space for our instructors, offices for the Bible school, cafeteria, and also library, classrooms, and so forth in that facility. That facility was built at a cost of $3.7 million, and as I said, completed 5 years ago. And last year at our annual conference, they burned the mortgage on that building, and that $3.7 million was above and beyond the budgets of the AFLC. And I'll take just a moment to explain to you budgets. At annual conference, all of the departments will present a budget as to their needs for the coming year. They'll present that budget to the annual conference, and then the conference decides whether to approve that budget, to reduce it, or to increase it. And I can tell you that in years past, there have been more times that those departments have come to the annual conference, presented a budget, and had the conference raise it, more times that way than they have been times that it has been lowered. Because people get the vision of what can be done and what needs to be done, and they approve budgets and send the people home to their congregations to make that known, and then they're contributing to those budgets is on a free will basis. We do not tell a congregation that they have to contribute X amount of dollars per confirmed member, or so much in regard to the size of the congregation and so forth. It is entirely by free will. And I've been asked many times, they said, well, how can that work? And I have to simply say I don't know how that can work, but it does. It has worked now for over 100 years, and it continues to work. I don't have any reason to believe that it's going to stop anytime soon. Because it belongs to the people. They have approved the budgets, and they are the ones then that give toward that budget in order to meet the need that is there. This is the main chapel building on campus. From the inside, they just recently installed an organ. A lady down in Iowa donated an organ. I don't know what the organ was worth, but it's a very beautiful organ. I know that it cost them about $150,000 to install it. What the organ was worth, I have no idea. But that facility is used then. We had our annual conference there last year, held in that auditorium. It is a place for concerts, Christmas concerts, homecoming concert. We heard a concert there last Friday night. And then on Saturday, this last Saturday, was the graduation of Bible school and seminary that were held in that chapel facility. This is one of the seminary housing units. There are 3 of these units on campus, with 4 apartments in each one, made available to seminarians that have need of. I'm getting lower and lower here. I'm getting closer and closer. Am I still picking up? There we are. I could see you going to sleep out there. I knew it was because you couldn't hear. No. Three of these seminary housing units on campus, and seminarians with their families live in them. My wife and I had the privilege a few years ago, one summer while we were building a house, to live in one of those units, and they're very comfortable and very nice. Provided to the seminarians at a very reasonable cost. I believe they're paying about $650 a month for a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment where pretty good sized families can make home while they are in seminary. And that particular building that you are looking at there was the entire cost of that building was donated by one lady who is not even a part of our AFLC. One of our pastors met her on a tour to Israel, and she wanted to know what she could do for our seminary. And she contributed all of the money for that that facility right there. That was a small part of her contribution, because I can tell you that not too long ago, the dean of our seminary received a letter from her. He opened it up, and in that letter was a handwritten check for $1 million. And I don't know why the Lord does things like that, but He does, and we're grateful. We're grateful for it. These are the 2 buildings you've already seen. The one on the left is the chapel building, which houses offices and classrooms for our seminary, as well as the chapel, the large chapel meeting area, auditorium area. And the other one is the Heritage Hall, the student center for the Bible school. This is one of the classrooms in the seminary, and as you can see, we have right here on the front row one of the seminarians. He's from Mexico. His name is Darwin Pacha, and Darwin is now serving his people in his country. And these men coming to our seminary are received by way of application and interview, and it is important and necessary in that interview that they have a personal testimony of faith, that they trust in Christ for their personal salvation, and that they have sensed that God is leading them to prepare and make ready for some kind of full-time ministry. This is a shot of the Bible school. We have about 100, I'm not sure, there was about 125 or 130 students in our Bible school this last year. This is an old picture here from 2007. It's been running in that number for several years now, about 120 to up to 150. There was there were a few years back where we had up to 170 some in our Bible school. It's a 2-year program. It is not accredited. However, there are a number of colleges in the Minneapolis metro area that do give credit to our Bible school students for the credits that they've accumulated there at Bible school toward a bachelor's degree. The Crown College, for one, Northwestern College, and also Bethel College do accept some of the credits from our Bible school, and also the University of Minnesota, the Mora campus. Our theme verse is from 2 Corinthians 3:17. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And again, we go back to the autonomy of the congregation, the people of the AFLC making decisions in regard to the ongoing work of the AFLC, and trusting a mighty God who is able to do far beyond what we ask or think. And not only does He provide for the ministries that we do, but He touches the hearts and the lives of people along the way in special and unique ways. I'm going to stop there. I have thrown out a lot of things to you, and probably raised some questions, and we will take time to answer those questions at this time.